Hey guys, so I've been using this MacBook Air 2017 model for almost 3 years now and recently got the M1 MacBook Air. So I'll be talking about this transition, my experience going from this older MacBook to this newer M1 MacBook Air. I will talk about both the things that I liked and also the things that I did not like or see as downgrades of sorts. So guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and also like this video. Let's begin. So let's start with the looks and the build. Both of these have the same display size, but the newer MacBook has a smaller footprint, as you can see here. So it feels more compact and easy to carry around, but it does not fit in my older MacBook sleeve because of the smaller footprint. It's not a snug fit anymore. I'm still on the lookout to find a perfect snug fit sleeve for this newer MacBook. The smaller footprint is partly because of these smaller bezels you can see here. Now I know this is not a bezel-less sort of design on the newer MacBook, but the display feels more immersive when you're consuming content, so I kind of like that. You also get a bigger trackpad, but more importantly, I'm not disappointed with the keyboard on the newer MacBook. I never had issues with the keyboard on the older MacBook. I just love typing on that one, and here also it just gives you similar experience. But I feel the key travel is slightly better. I don't know, maybe I'm used to this, but yeah, it's almost as good as the older one, so no complaints here. The fingerprint sensor works really good, but anyway, you have to punch in your password every time you restart it. That's how the Mac works, so it's just a bit more convenient, I would say. So in case you didn't know, the newer MacBook is a fanless machine. Currently it's winter and cold weather, so no issues until now. So both of these have that thin profile that we come to expect from the Air series, but let me talk about some of the things that I do not like about the newer MacBook. You only get two USB-C ports. Yes, they are faster, much faster than the older MacBook ports, but this is where the dongle life begins and it's definitely not convenient. At least they could have added this memory card slot, which is really important for a lot of people. At least another C port here on this side. I terribly miss my older MacBook here. Another downside is there is currently no boot camp support, so you cannot really install Windows on this newer M1 MacBooks. It was completely free and very easy to install and worked really decently well on my older MacBook, so yeah, I'm missing that as well. Now another minor thing is there is no glowing Apple logo on these recent MacBook models. I always personally like the glowing logo, especially on the silver MacBooks, but it's just a minor thing and I don't really miss that. The biggest upgrade apart from the performance itself has to be the display. Yes, it has better screen resolution, higher pixel density, but apart from this, the sharpness itself, I find the colors and the contrast levels to be much better. Not just that, because of the IPS panel, the viewing angles also look really good. The older MacBook was pretty bad in terms of the viewing angles, but on the newer MacBook it is pretty good in this regard as well. Also it supports HDR, so for content consumption it is pretty good and miles better compared to the MacBook Air 2017. And because of the P3 white color gamut, it is also pretty good not just for content consumption but also for content creation like photo editing and video editing as well. So in short, in terms of display, it is just way better. And it has the dual speaker setup, so it only adds to the experience. Now moving to the performance, let's start this with a boot test. The older MacBook got a little bit slower with the recent update. It usually takes about 20 seconds for the newer MacBook versus about 45 seconds on the older MacBook. On the Cinebench, the single core performance is about twice as fast, but the multi-core performance is just not even comparable. I mean, you can see the numbers for yourself. Looking at the read and write speeds, the write speeds are about 4 times faster and the read times are about twice as fast, as you can see here. Just opening day-to-day apps, you can definitely notice a difference between the two already. The app loading times are definitely faster, particularly when you start opening heavier apps. The loading times are definitely much faster on the M1 Mac. Now this older MacBook is still usable with the Big Sur. I mean, it is decently fast, it gets the basic things done, so basic multitasking, basic stuff, it's all good, but the newer MacBook obviously feels a little bit smoother and fluid around the UI. But the real measure of the performance and the difference is felt when you start rendering stuff, when you start heavy editing. I mean, the render times are insanely faster compared to the older MacBook. There is absolutely no comparison. It is just miles better. It just evokes laughter. Now moving to the battery life, the older MacBook is 3 years old, so the battery does get deteriorated. So now I can say the newer MacBook gets about double the battery life. I easily get about a full day's worth of battery life with good solid usage of about 10 hours. That also includes video editing as well, so that's pretty good, I would say. So apart from the USB ports, the display, the performance, the battery life are the 3 solid reasons to get this newer MacBook. So anyway, that's been it for this video, guys. If you found this video helpful, please like this video, also subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.